I got championship goals, I got championship flows,
Hey
I got a
everybody,
championship.
welcome back. We've got episode 4 rolling today. Happy to be back.
Yep.
And you know what? We're very excited this time because we've got a special guest.
Very
A close friend of ours, Prashit. A very close friend. G from Cali. Welcome to Floor20. G, how are you?
Thank you.
Round of
Thanks for
applause,
having
round of
me.
applause.
Yeah, we'll give it. Our first guest. First
First of many.
It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege.
It really is.
Yeah, how does it feel to be sitting on the set?
I'm actually kind of nervous. This is my first time doing anything like this.
You've never been on TV before in front of millions of people?
I know, the number one podcast in the world.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been on TV, so hopefully I do well. So don't be too hard on me today.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the
How
one.
are you doing, Prashit?
I'm doing bloody good actually, bro. Yeah, had a busy week.
With
Got
what?
we're kicking off today with an Italian wine as well. So I'm
Italian.
I'm a bit of in my Italian groove, Grazie.
Oh, you got a little bit of Italian in you, don't you?
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very minor,
But you
but
gotta claim
I'll
it.
claim it.
You
It's
gotta
a remix, baby.
Hey.
Sardinia. Off the coast, but
Grazie.
Grazie. It's an inside joke. We'll go into it on another day. Yeah. Anyway, bro.
Yeah.
How's your weekend? What do you get up to?
Yeah, man. For me, I've been going pretty hard with my permanent residence application.
Oh, yeah.
Because actually, Gurleen, my
found a wife,
my
eh?
visa, my visa ends in like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
So if I don't get onto it, I have to go back to New Zealand.
No.
Which I love home, but I'm not ready to go back yet. So that's why I've been going super hard on my application to become a permanent resident here in Canada. So I'm looking forward to getting that all through so I can become a minor Canadian just at the bottom of, Kiwi first, little Canadian second. So yeah, that's what's going on.
In a coming episode, we should go deeper into that whole process. Maybe
Totally.
there's people back home that will be interested in that, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you actually have to do to get it. So happy to detail that moving forward.
Yeah, yesterday when we came home to see the fight, I just saw you on the...
Had all my documents sprawled out everywhere.
That's not like Devin.
Yeah.
This guy's actually working hard.
Yeah,
What
I
is
was
this?
like, shit. It's Saturday night.
What about you? What have you been up to the last week or so?
I've actually had an extended weekend.
Don't spill.
I won't. I took a long whole break from work and
Mini hiatus.
Yeah, I was just like, I need to, F that place, need to go. And I went to Santa Barbara. I have a cousin who lives in Santa Barbara in California. And it was beautiful. It was really relaxing, mental break, all that kind of thing.
Nice.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, and then I came here and it's freaking cold as hell.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Cali to Canada is a massive
No,
difference.
I was like, why did I come here?
Well,
To be on this podcast.
Yeah. We flew her in.
yeah, we got that big budget. I actually, one thing I'd like to bring up is I've been reading a new book.
Okay.
And it's Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney's new book.
Okay.
And I like those type of books. I like autobiographies and stuff like that. Get some gems in there.
Okay.
And I think people should check it out. Like a little story that I'll just give from it is the pinnacle of his career was opening Shanghai's Disneyland, which is actually 11 times bigger than the Disneyland in LA.
Oh,
Really?
11 times. It's still smaller than Disney World, but bro, Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan.
Get off.
Twice the size of Manhattan.
What is this?
That's ridiculous, eh? And basically, bro,
That is a serious
It must
stat.
take how many days to complete, to even do that?
I think Disney World is like 7 parks.
Disneyland, even in one day, is oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a
small.
lot.
You get super tired at the end. You got to go early.
Oh, you got to go. And so, bro, basically he was there and everyone was there. This was the biggest investment aside from an acquisition of Disney. It was $6 billion to do this park over a 20-year span. It took 20 years
So
to do this.
he planned that out to be 20 years.
It was 20
He had
years.
that business plan.
It was 2 or 3 presidents. It was
Jeez, man.
crazy,
2 or
right?
3 presidents.
Yeah, legit.
Oh,
and
of Disney.
of Disney. No. Of China.
America.
Of China.
Okay.
And this was a massive geopolitical thing as well. The first time Americans are doing major business with the Chinese as well. And while he was there, this was the same week that for the first time a kid got eaten by an alligator in Disney World. He had to deal with that.
What?
And the same week that the Orlando nightclub
I remember that.
happened.
So this was recently.
Yeah,
nightclub
two,
was kinda
3 years ago. 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, the way that he describes handling that and having to deal with that during the biggest week of his career. That was something, man. So I recommend listening to that book if you're into entertainment or anything.
What is the book again?
I actually know the title, just Bob Iger, Disney.
Okay.
Like, just Google that.
It's a good story. It's a good story.
It's a good story. But
okay.
yeah. But should we switch it up to the main event, the heavyweight championship of the world?
Wow, that was a crazy fight last night.
Which you
guys.
just experienced. Oh my
Bronze
God.
Bomber versus the Gypsy King.
The Gypsy
Yeah.
King.
I like-
Yadosa.
You're a boom. I like the entrances, like both of them.
Yeah.
Like how Tyson was sitting down on his
On the
throne.
throne.
Like,
That was like
I've never seen like that
literally
before.
goals. Like if
Yeah.
I can just be carried around on the throne all the time.
Legit.
Yeah.
If it was like an elephant, I imagine that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Let's
but-
go back to India.
How?
Yeah.
Hey, that's how they come in on the weddings, huh?
Yeah.
And Deontay when the red eyes lit up.
Oh, I thought he
Oh
was
yeah.
high
yeah,
budget.
walking through. I was like, how is he gonna lose? Like he looks like an absolute like.
Unbelievable.
Bro, remember,
So-
did you play Tekken as a kid? Play
Yeah, Tekken.
But Armor King. He reminded me of
Armor King. Oh right,
Yeah.
the tiger dude.
Yeah.
Armor King. Oh, that's a throwback.
Like,
did you
yeah.
ever play Tekken?
Tekken.
Yeah. Or did you play Street
I don't-
Fighter?
I've played Street Fighter.
I
I
think-
think I played Tekken. I need to Google that.
Yeah. Jin Kazama,
I
Kazuya.
think Tekken was massive
Heihachi.
here.
I feel
It was everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think
maybe
North
better,
America
yeah.
was Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
that was it
I swear I
instead.
did because my brother.
He played it.
Microphone.
Oh, okay, my bad. Oh yeah.
You did play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot more Street Fighter though.
Gotcha.
Microphone.
Bro,
Um,
they
So,
didn't
yeah,
get
what-
me a stand.
Yeah, the budget. We hit
Flew in, but didn't get me a stand.
Should I do a little recap of the fight for anyone that didn't watch it, and then we can go into our thoughts on it?
Totally. Tell us.
So, basically, they both came in at
Lost.
almost the heaviest of their career. One at 270 pounds, the Gypsy King at like 130 kilo, and Deontay came in at like 40 pounds lighter, like 20 kilo lighter, which is actually like the difference between me and Devin.
Yeah.
There's
like you could kind of tell like
yeah, there was a big difference, and basically, I mean, I remember saying as soon as Deontay came out that his legs looked heavy, like he didn't look good. Remember, I said he was flat-footed.
Yeah.
And he ended up saying he did have a leg injury coming to it. But basically, what happened is he got hit with a good shot behind the ear. It burst his eardrum, blood
Bang, man. That
leaking
was
out of the
crazy.
ear.
We all
And-
saw it. We all watched it together. We saw that.
Yeah.
Man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And what that does, it throws your equilibrium absolutely off. And if you guys at home want to test out what it's like to have your equilibrium off, don't bang your head up against a wall. Instead, why don't you,
What are we gonna do?
if you stand on one foot with your eyes open, you'll see that you can balance.
Right.
But when you take away your eyesight, that's part of your equilibrium. So if you close your eyes and try to turn your head over to each shoulder,
Should try it.
you will not be able to
Devin,
stay
try
up. And that's what Deontay Wilder was dealing with. Devin, are you gonna display it for us?
What's that?
The one-legged, are you gonna?
No.
Oh, I thought you were putting your wine down.
I mean, maybe it's like a little snippet video we might
Yeah,
create.
but-
But hey. I mean, but you tried this on me, didn't you?
Yeah, I
one
did.
time.
And it's
true.
And it's true.
And it's so true.
Were you like?
I'm horrendous balance wise anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, hey, when you took my sight away, or when I had to turn my head to the side or something,
yeah.
no chance.
And
So I kind of know what he was going through in that sense.
and do it in silence, because if you have music going or whatever, your body almost has like a natural sonar, and it can detect where you are. Like, you know, if you hear like a car backfire, you'll flinch because you know it's over
Yeah.
there. If there's no sound in the room, then your body
Right.
doesn't have your sight or your ears. So
you
that's
lose your sense of. Like,
yeah. So I mean, he missioned through a few rounds, and then the referee threw in the towel, stopped the fight, which
Yeah.
The team threw in the towel.
Yeah.
the team threw in the towel. And I mean, we were saying that should have happened.
Well,
earlier.
I was very happy that they called it off at that point. I mean, I was going for Wilder, like I was
Yeah,
backing up,
we
like,
all
geez,
were.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the only thing that was going to happen was him get clean knocked out.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that
And I
from such
didn't
a
wanna see
warrior,
that.
and yeah, so he's such a great fighter, and
Yeah.
like you could just see that was coming. So I'm happy that they like saved him in a sense. I don't want to
Yeah.
say save, but you know what I mean, like. So yeah, and honestly, like I think I told you guys, I could see like some look in his eye, like he just wasn't like the normal
shook.
Deontay.
Just
I was
shook,
like
right?
in
He was-
denial. I was like, no,
right.
he's not. But his
Yeah.
eyes were not.
From the start, he kind of looked like a
Yeah.
little bit like scared a little bit. Like it was weird as.
So big ups to Tyson Fury. He did say to Wilder after the fight, like, that first round, you're dynamite, you're blah blah blah. But I think Deontay felt the power of Fury
Bang.
early
Oh,
on,
heavy.
100%.
and he
Big
and
guy.
heavy.
He was
heavy
coming
hands.
at him as well.
Yeah, and I think he was a bit like,
He definitely
oh.
prepared differently for this one.
Yep.
Mm.
But I would like to see a rematch. There's a rematch clause. If you don't know, it's within 30 days he has to activate it.
Yeah.
As the champion. So I don't know if they'll make him do a couple of other fights and then come back later, and instead they'll have Joshua and Fury fight.
They definitely have to make them fight again, though.
I'd like to see round 3.
Yeah.
Before Joshua.
I would as well. I think you need to wrap up this storyline.
Yeah, do it.
And then, because
see who's like really, who's next to fight Joshua.
This was just like the Joshua Ruiz fight, where he got hit with a shot, concussed, and it wasn't the true.
You can't really, because that was just like a good shot by Ruiz,
Yeah.
but like, hey, Joshua came back the next time.
And I mean, I want to see like them go through like a full fight camp. I mean, you even know what a full fight camp looks like, haven't you? You started up with your
my boxing these couple days.
Heavy hands.
You throwing the hands? You throwing the hands?
Yeah.
Don't miss.
Prepared.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
you got the headgear as well or nah?
No, I haven't gone that far. I haven't gone that far. It's actually like a workout thing.
Right.
And so, so you do boxing for half of it, and then you do hit as well, and it's really fun. So you learn all the moves and everything.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So watch out.
You guys.
There's a boxing glove right here.
He's closest to you, so you know what I mean?
Why do you think I'm practicing?
Yeah.
You guys know I like numbers. Would you like to take a guess at how much these guys are going to walk away with?
Okay, with pay-per-view and all that.
With pay-per-view and everything.
Oh, shit.
Let me tell you, this is going to be about the 5th highest pay-per-view in history. Behind 4 Mayweather fights.
You know I'm bad with numbers, so you go guess
shit.
first.
Just take a guess.
50 million.
50 million?
Is that
What about you?
I don't know. That's just a random guess. So.
What about you?
51 million?
Okay, well, this is the highest heavyweight gate, meaning the stadium tickets was the highest it's ever been. So that's 1 point. It's the 5th highest pay-per-view, so that's another point. They got guaranteed before any pay-per-view 27 million each, but with the success of the pay-per-view, they might get over to 100 million each.
Are you fucking kidding
100
me?
million each, bro.
When he said 50 million, I was like, that's
Yeah,
insane.
it
He
was
must be
kinda-
bad at numbers.
Well, I am, but
100 mil.
What?
oh shit!
That's set up, man.
Can I?
He's gonna need that with all those 8 kids.
Yeah.
God damn.
I love to
Be
like
busy.
research their family after they're fighting, and I was like, he has like 8 kids.
Yeah, the bronze
With
bomber
4
for
different
real.
baby mamas. Yeah.
Oh, he a bomber. He a bomber.
4 different baby
different
mamas, which is
tennis
fine.
players.
4? Oh, like fucking Dwight Howard up in there, man.
Oh,
shit! He got 5. I think he got 5 baby mamas.
5, yeah, 5 or 6.
Damn.
He's been busy too.
I actually want to jump in here and say that this fight reminded me of one that I was actually at live.
Oh, really?
And that was a New Zealand one, Tua Cameron.
Oh.
If you guys back home can
Shout
remember,
out.
Tua Cameron. It was one of the biggest fights in New Zealand heavyweight history.
Okay.
And this guy, David Tua, was absolutely clocking Shane Cameron. Remember this, right, Prashit? Bang, bang, bang. And they should have ended it in the first round. I remember watching this with my own eyes, watching a guy getting absolutely
How was Shane Cameron's
beat
hit?
down. Boom, 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 boom. But like, they took it to the second round, Gillian, and then like as soon as the second round started, this guy Tua just absolutely bang, bang was knocking this dude clean, and the ref was just letting it happen.
Oh.
He got hit like
And it's not
15
good
times.
to look
boom,
at, eh?
Boom, boom, and I was watching this with my own eyes, and I was like,
Broken
man, this is
jaw.
actually hard to watch.
Oh,
but
no.
but then they eventually cut it, and so that's why I was thinking with this fight, please
They
call it
would-
off.
yeah.
'Cause I've seen it with my own eyes before.
Yeah.
It's not
And-
nice, eh?
the
not nice.
referee was like, he had big eyes already, but like
Yeah.
he had
Yeah.
his eyes were like on
Yeah.
Wilder the whole time after he got knocked.
Knocked out.
Yeah, he knew it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming. But it's insane how an athlete, he was so upset. He's like, why did you throw in the towel?
Yeah,
like
that-
even in
yeah.
interviews, post interviews, he's like, no, my team shouldn't have done that. But obviously that was the right decision because of what you just said.
Had to,
but like
had to be done.
that just shows you like they're just another like,
the mentality
beast.
is crazy.
Same. What is it? Same animal, different beast. In the words of Kobe
Same.
Bryant.
Kobe, that's Kobe.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the ad.
R.I.P.
What the
Yeah.
fuck are you
His
saying, Kobe
memorial's
Bryant?
tomorrow. But anyway.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the
24th.
Yeah, the 24th.
Yeah. Well,
But should we crack it or you?
I do want to say big ups to Dan Hooker, the Kiwi, UFC New Zealand. He won. He actually won.
He won?
I heard that he lost, but he actually won the fight.
Awesome.
I think it was controversial, but in
Hey, we'll
any
take the
sort-
win. We'll take
the win,
Kiwi
baby.
win.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, are you keen to move it forward here?
Let's
You
go,
guys?
baby.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. All right. So, hey, look, there was some exciting news that came out on social media this week, guys. Friends. You know, we're all Friends fans here, aren't we?
Told you life
They're coming
was-
back.
They're coming back. So Jennifer Aniston, right? She dropped it on her Instagram.
Yeah, everybody did.
They all
At the
did?
Same exact
Oh,
time.
okay, that's
Same
awesome.
post,
I actually
same
didn't know
wordings,
that.
Everything.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
And like Matthew Perry is the one Chandler.
He's not on Insta?
No, he just joined Insta like a week ago.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it was because of like this, you know.
Right.
Yeah. 3 million each.
Well, we're all pumped
2
for
or
this,
3
though.
million each, eh?
Shoot.
3 million each. Yeah.
It's essentially just like a $15 million marketing stunt. Like they just
to
because,
get started HBO.
Yeah,
whatever.
HBO Max is coming out, and I want to touch on that in a little bit. But I think let's talk about Friends for a
Oh,
little
come
bit.
on. This is sick.
This is sick. Number one,
Are you
I think
excited?
it's just.
Oh, pumped.
Yeah.
I think it's an unscripted thing where it's just going to be them talking. I don't think it's an actual
Yeah.
episode.
You think so?
No, it's set. It's set.
says, like, that's why
So
I'm
what is
like,
this?
I'm not sure if it's just them talking in a room as like Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry and so
Oh.
on.
So we don't even know if it's like a show yet.
We don't know. And if that's the case, I don't know if I'm into that. I don't know. 3 million to just talk. Like, I've seen you guys
shit.
talk many times. I know you guys hang out. We see your Instagrams. I don't need, I mean, I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'll still watch it. But I kind of
Just
wanted
just
like them
do-
to be in their character.
Do like an hour episode for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just 20 years down the road.
Exactly.
Fuck,
But
that'd
the
be
thing
sick.
is, like, reunions usually suck.
Well, okay, well,
sequels.
what would you like to see in a reunion if they did one? Like let's say an
'Cause
hour and a
Emma's
half special.
18,
An
I
hour
would
and a half
like to
special.
do, like
Oh.
everything. I would still watch it, even if it's cheesy, even if it's anything. It's just homage to like all the fans and everything. So
I think it would be
like
cool.
Fuller House came back and it was totally fine.
I think it would be a sick way to kick off like Friends 2.0, like all their kids and
Bro, and can I
Oh,
jump in
that's a
here?
good one.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if Cole Sprouse was the actor of Ben.
Oh, because he's that right age.
Hey,
Oh,
bro.
that's him.
And
He's
he
a-
actually still acts.
Yeah, he still acts for Riverdale,
Yeah.
all these things. Like, bro, and
man.
can I just
That's actually so
imagine
smart.
that would be awesome. And you know what? He spends a lot of time in Vancouver here because
Yeah.
Riverdale's filmed in Vancouver.
I always look for them.
and,
when
I,
I'm
and I've
here.
got a little story here.
Okay.
So, you know, maybe about, it could be about a year ago now, actually. It was about a year ago. I ran into Cole Sprouse on the street.
Oh, no way.
And it was about 4 a.m. after, after a clubbing night.
What were you doing? Okay.
After a good Saturday night.
Say
clubbing.
Ben.
Bro, I was wearing a Santa outfit because it was for the Sevens last year. So I was
You
in a
were
costume.
what?
A Santa
Oh,
outfit.
Santa, okay.
And he comes up to me. He pats me on the stomach. He's like, hey, Santa.
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, was that just Cole Sprouse? And my friends were like, yeah, bro, that's Cole Sprouse.
Was it like near the holidays or something? Or were you just wearing a Santa
No,
outfit?
because it was like for the Sevens. It was like a party thing. So you got to dress up.
Rugby
Rugby.
sevens.
Rugby. Okay.
And so he tapped me on my stomach. He's like, hey, Santa. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? But then he kept walking. I was so caught off guard.
Yeah.
So then I turned around. I sprinted after him. I was like, hey, Cole, man, like, can I take a selfie? Went back,
Boom.
took
You
a
have a
selfie
selfie with
with Cole, and I told him that I loved him and that like I love you, bro. And I was like, you're so
You told a
big in
girl
New
that?
Zealand. I was like, yeah, you're so big in New Zealand, man. You're inspiration, and yeah, he was such a good dude.
He was really nice
such
about
yeah,
it?
So,
Oh,
so
that's
I hope he
cool.
comes back for Ben.
How epic was Sweet Life?
That's
on there?
actually
Oh,
like such
bro.
a good idea to have their kids and like create a reunion. Yeah,
That would be real
so
good.
I don't want to see them just talking as like Jennifer
Nah.
Aniston stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that, but
Neither.
I'll still watch it.
Wait,
Like I said,
I feel like they could really like hire some like A-list actors at that age and make a sick show. Like in New York, kids, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be a sick special.
I think Cole Sprouse would be down.
because like Courtney
Or
Cox,
his
a lot of them are
twin.
still relevant as well. Like they're not
1000%.
off the
Yeah.
map. Like
Yeah.
it could be actually pretty cool. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're excited, but hopefully it's something to do with the characters.
yeah, hopefully.
Do we know when it like comes on or anything, or we have no
I
idea?
actually don't know.
Me
Do you-
neither.
Did they say a date or?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it
okay, so-
did.
no, it comes out. I
Probably
think.
when HBO Max.
Yes. So this is the thing. I think this year, HBO Max, which is like Warner Brothers, so that's like Big Bang Theory and Friends and everything. And
Thankfully.
HBO, they're releasing their own streaming service, and it's like a month after or before NBC is releasing their own streaming service called Peacock, and NBC has like a sleet of their own shows.
Right.
And so basically by mid-year, you're going to have like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu,
Oh my
Disney
gosh.
Plus, Peacock, HBO Max, and they've all been shelling out like $500 million each for these shows. Like they've got Seinfeld for $500 million,
Damn,
Friends for
that's
$500
wild.
million, Big Bang Theory for $500 million. So these guys are going to be picking up chicks. Like,
Bro, you gotta
I'll
get
get
that. Keep getting them
Netflix.
chicks. Keep getting them chicks.
kicking them
We'll
chicks.
share passwords and you get a
Yeah,
different
I mean, I
subscription.
was using your Netflix for ages, so
Yeah,
thanks.
you were. You
Yeah.
kept trained like every
we
time
were
I'd
friends,
go.
actually.
Yeah.
I'd
It
be
was
so
friends.
annoyed. I kept watching Friends, and I was rewatching it, and you were
We were
too,
rewatching,
right?
yeah.
And so I would go
Different.
back and I'd be like, oh, I'm on this episode, and it'd go back to like season 2, whatever. and
You're
I'm
on like
like,
season 8, yeah.
what the hell, Devin?
We knew we were watching it. Thank you, I appreciate that.
But I'm excited. I've been missing Friends. I
yeah.
just love like just putting in the background. Even LeBron
yeah,
James,
that's
like
the
that's
one.
his go-to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shit.
like the go-to show to just
Just in
kind of like go
background.
to sleep. You know what I mean?
It makes you happy.
Feel
like,
good. Feel
Yeah.
good. You feel like they're actually friends, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you're
legit.
like, shit, I'm all alone.
Cause you're, you're binging How I Met Your Mother, right? Right
Now
now.
I'm doing How I Met Your Mother,
That's
yeah.
a good one,
Yeah.
too.
Because I actually never watched that one back in the day. So this is the
Oh,
first time
really?
I'm actually watching How I Met Your Mother.
And does it still like? Is it still good for you?
I love it.
Really?
I
What
just
season
feel
are you
like
on?
I think I'm on season 5 right now.
Okay, so it's still good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it
Those
dips
get-
off?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like
shit.
all of them.
Just like all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's
But you
very
still gotta
relatable.
watch it all.
It's
Very
relatable to living in
relatable.
the city, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And at that age as well,
Age.
like
The things that they're doing.
Yeah.
the things that they do. Because How I Met
What
Your
are they
Mother's a little
doing?
bit racier.
Nah,
Barney,
Marshall and
Barney,
Lily. mate.
Barney.
Marshall and Lily. Marshall and Lily.
Have you met Ted? No. Have you met Diff? We need to try that, one day. Yeah, have you met
gosh.
Diff? Yeah, but yeah, man, I can't wait till all these streaming shows.
That's actually a really good segue.
yeah,
And a really good segue because
what?
if you know what I'm gonna go, I don't know if you know yet.
Nah. What-
Oh, I think I'm done with this segment. So like,
Yeah.
I wanna move it on.
All right, let's
Okay.
go. Let's go.
I wanna ask G some questions.
Oh shit.
So G,
Yeah.
I've got a little something for you.
I know.
A
Okay.
little special segment for you, and this one's actually for the lads
Oh,
listening back home, guys. So
Okay.
I just had a couple of questions, and it was to do with approaching girls, really.
oh,
Oh,
heavy.
shit.
It's to do with
Okay.
approaching girls, and so I've got a few different kind of circumstances.
Okay.
So first of all, like your opinion, is it okay to like go and talk to girls in the gym?
In the gym.
Oh,
Ooh.
this is a good one
So I just
because
want to.
That's happened to me.
Really? Okay, tell me about that.
a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was. I personally don't like it, but like.
You don't like it?
No,
Okay.
but I don't like it because I'm not interested in it.
Is it kind of like read the signal, or is that what you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, you know what I don't like it? Yeah, exactly. Read the signal. I'm in the middle of a freaking what is it called?
what is it? Leg press?
Glute
A glute bridge.
no, yeah, with the weighted glute bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And some guy comes up to me. I have my headphones up. I'm not looking at anybody else. And a guy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey,
Microphone.
hey, hey," and I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like, what am
Yeah.
I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And I'm already, as a girl, sometimes you do, not all girls, so I shouldn't speak for all of them, but a lot of girls get already like self-conscious about being at the gym.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I know how to work out because I've learned from
Right.
people, but like, sometimes you're like, am I doing it wrong? So I'm like, okay, is this guy going to tell me I'm doing it wrong
So
right
you actually
now?
don't know what's happening
Yeah,
right
yeah. I'm like, is he? I don't think he's hitting on me.
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
oh my gosh, am I doing something wrong? Like, what does this guy want? And so he came up to me. He's talking down to me, and he's just trying to like keep conversating, and I'm like cutting it short. And he keeps going, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the freaking middle of
Yeah.
a glute bridge, weighted glute
I
bridge.
think-
Does it look like I
I
want to
think
talk?
you should know like if the girl's doing an exercise. Don't fucking do it then.
So, but like that was my context. But if like, let's say, I think it's okay in general though, because like, first of all, it's a good picking because, what?
Close to your mouth. Close to
Okay.
your mouth.
It's like I'm kissing it. Like,
Yeah, that's what you got to do it
Pretend to do it at the gym.
for the listeners. For the listeners.
but I think it's like a good. I think it's like a good place to meet girls because you know they have a similar interest
That's
to
the-
you. They
that's
know
the
they're
thing,
fit,
yeah. So, yeah.
and you know how they look in those leggings and
Oof,
shit. You know what I
oof.
mean?
Stop it.
But I
Gonna
think
get
you just
someone in
gotta
trouble.
like timing is important. Like
Yeah.
don't do it when they're in the middle of a glute bridge. One time I was in the middle of a chest press. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? Seriously,
He's thinking about something.
I was like, what the hell? I literally looked at him like,
Bro,
leave me
yo,
alone,
get
bruh.
out of here, man.
So like I think maybe when she's like done with her exercise or when she's about to not when she's about to start even.
No.
There are ways to do it.
Okay.
But I'm for
That's
it.
good to know.
But like
That's good to know.
what have you tried? Have you tried before?
Oh, I haven't actually tried myself.
Really?
'cause
What
I'm-
would be your line? Like,
Somebody
what do you
tried
think-
me.
What?
That's right.
Do you remember? Somebody tried me.
Try me. Try
But what do
me.
you, okay,
Try me.
I want to hear what did she say because I was going to ask him like how do you
Okay.
what do you think is an appropriate way to like go to a girl? Like, what did she say to you
Shit. You wanna throw it
to?
back at me?
So
Yeah.
what did do? No. So I was, I can't really remember, but I was in the, you know how there's always like a yoga room or whatever. I was in there and I
What
was
were you
doing,
doing, boy?
I was stretching that thing,
Oh.
but I was stretching out, and this girl comes in and she, like, it's a big ass room, and she puts her mat like next to mine and starts doing stretches.
Good sign.
Maybe like 6 feet away or something.
You must be Italian, bro.
And basically like she just says something like,
hey there.
oh no, and then so
Hey,
she
good
didn't say anything. And
Oh
then
my
she
God.
got on a bike and started. There was like
That ass
there's
real?
a bunch of spin bikes, and then like she's doing her spin bike, and then she kind of gets
Why
off
were
the
you
bike.
noticing this so
And then-
much?
It was only me and her in the room, and then she comes up to me like while I'm got earphones in and while I'm on the ground still doing my stretching. Like, do you come to this gym often? That was the line, and I
I
said,
hate that line.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
too
and-
like
but-
classic.
It was too classic, and
I'd be like, oh no, duh.
and I was
yeah,
like-
you've seen me like 20 times.
yeah, and then it was just like an organic conversation of like, oh, but she was like, yeah, do you come to this one? I'm like, oh, no, sometimes I go to the one in the city and stuff, and she's like, oh, good to know, and I'm
Oh.
like, okay, and then
That
Did
is
you say
good to
really say
know.
okay?
yeah, but I just you got to pull one of these, just put the earphone back in.
better.
yeah,
But you know what? Some guy came up to me and he was like, "You look like you got your shit together,"
Oh,
and I like that.
did you?
I
now?
appreciated.
See,
that.
that's going out on a limb. That could go one of two
Yeah.
ways.
confidence.
I think.
No, but I was just like, he did it with confidence, and
That's
this
key.
was the guy who was like looking down at me too. So I was like pissed at him. But when he said that, I was like, all right, like yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
know
did.
how
You
to
know what?
work out.
That's what
I
pump it.
know
You
how
gotta
to
pump it
work
up. You
out.
pump it up.
And then yeah, so that's actually a good line. Like, you look like you got your shit together, or like, I don't know. How would you? Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, for me, I don't want to approach anybody in the gym because I'm just in there to get my work in and get out.
Yeah.
Because
and just look.
Oh, you gotta. No, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. It's but honestly, like, if I was to approach a girl, I just honestly, like, for me, because we're in Canada.
You play
We're
up
from
your
New
accent.
Zealand. G'day,
You
how are
play
you?
out
Devin.
your accent.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's how this guy got
Yes,
his girlfriend.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right?
That is.
Damn. Okay.
That is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Wild.
what if
I
you
might try that one day. Eh?
try that one
Yeah.
day? What if you go to be like just help them out on something, or like I know one.
Nah.
Like, what if it's like, oh, are you done?
I've
with
done that before. But
How many sets have you got left?
I've genuinely actually gone to help them out though, because like
Yeah.
they were like struggling and shit.
yeah. But
I've gotten that. How many sets have you had got left or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
And
That's
then
the
they
entry.
go, and that's the entry. And then
Yeah.
you just start talking, and you don't want to be mean to that. So you're just like, oh yeah.
and you could be like, oh damn, shit, you're strong. Like, you know, like
yeah.
yeah,
You're too good at this, eh?
Keep pumping, eh?
yeah, bro.
yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
What else
Well-
you got for me?
Well, I mean, I had a couple of other situations. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, maybe we can just touch on these ones. Like, say for example, like a coffee shop. Like, is that because you know what? If you're
Oh
sitting-
my
Oh
god!
my- yeah.
A guy I was sitting next to Prashit. We were
Are you
working
kidding?
at the
Wait.
coffee shop the other day, and
But
a guy here in Vancouver.
What the fuck? I
And
didn't
he
even know
just,
this.
yeah, and he just came and talked to me, and I was just like,
Prashit was sitting right there.
and I literally,
Dude.
I was so okay. I had a book out. What is it? How to Win
How to Win
Friends.
Friends.
Yeah, there
Yeah, I
it
got
is.
it
You
on
got
the
it
table.
too. That's why shout out.
Yeah.
We haven't.
You guys keep
read
talking.
it. Okay. Anyway, so he goes up to me, and I'm like reading. I have my headphones in, everything, because that's the sign of don't talk to me.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
Universal sign.
Universal.
This guy did not care. He's like, "Oh, that's a good book," and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Thanks, man.
And that was the way in. I kept.
But
I
how long
kept
did he
it
talk
like
to you
that.
for?
10
though?
minutes.
He 10 minutes.
You were right
10
there?
I was
said-
doing my work.
I said, "Oh, I'm." He was in his work. He did not give a shit. Like, I was like, "Oh, I'm here visiting. Oh, I'm from California. Oh, I'm this."
He said that.
I said
Kelly.
that.
Oh, you
I
said that.
all
Yeah.
that, and he just kept going. He's like, "What do you do?" I'm in sales. What? You're in a quarter life crisis? Like, yeah, don't rub it in. Like, it
Yeah.
was a lot. So
Fuck.
yeah,
It's like,
that's
how
a-
do you even end that situation?
I
Like,
didn't know because I kept bringing him up. Like, I was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like, yeah, he's studying. He's
Right.
going to the States.
Oh,
I'm here to
Blah,
see him,
blah."
like, you know?
You know,
Yeah.
and
Get
he
the
just
hint,
gave-
buddy.
He even like
Yeah.
before, and then we stopped talking, and before he left, he was just like, nice to meet you. Here's another book you should read. And I was like, okay.
Bro, that guy, is there such thing as too much confidence?
There is. This is where
He's oozing
That
a
was
little bit
my
too
example
much.
of what not to do.
Yeah, okay.
10 minutes
Unless
is too
like
much.
it was just, yeah.
Well, because then he goes to the other girl sitting across the
No, he
table.
didn't.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Oh, like
She
is
had
it,
a paper under
is
her
it,
mouse.
Is it better to have your mouse on the desk or on the paper?"
Oh, that's like a Barney Stinson type
Yeah,
move,
it's
man.
too much.
And I was
Like-
like, first of all, rude.
I think
Yeah,
he
you can't do that. You can't hit on one girl in the coffee shop.
I think he
Let me
read
take you to the coffee shop.
the coffee shop. Bossy Bob. So I think he was reading the book and he wanted to exercise some of the techniques from the book.
Ah.
I think that
We haven't gotten that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
that's a conversation for another time, but we can get into that one time because that book is a goodie that we're reading.
Fly me out again.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
we'll fly you out.
get into it. I'll read it by then.
Yeah.
But like, I think in general in a coffee shop, I've been hit on before in the coffee shop as well. And like, it goes back to that universal signal of like
Yeah.
having headphones
So it's just
in.
reading it, eh?
Don't talk to me. when I
Yeah.
have
'Cause
headphones.
you're not gonna have a good time.
I'm not. I'm like, leave me the F alone. Of course I'm doing something.
I think quick question, 1 to 2 minutes of conversation is fine. When you start going for a handshake or introducing yourself,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Too
when you're
much.
crossing
He
a
did
line.
that. He
Yeah,
did
that's too
that.
much.
I don't remember his name.
Unless you're going to close and ask for a phone number,
Yeah.
why do you need to know my name, bro? Like,
and
you
it's
know,
obvious what you're doing.
It's obvious what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask
I
my
wasn't
name.
sure though. I thought he was being nice at some point.
Yeah, but
Man,
Nah.
guys are nice for
Too
one.
much.
Nah, jokes.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah.
my take.
Okay.
Next one.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe this is the final one of the series here. But like, what's the perfect line in the club?
Oh shit. This is a good one. You need to like. I need to prepare.
Yeah.
think about your friends. Like,
Because sometimes, especially in Vancouver, it's tough to have that opening line. Because I feel like, especially in Vancouver, you got 10, 15 seconds to impress her, else you're out of there.
Yeah, 100%.
So you know what I mean?
Or especially in Vancouver. Vancouver is like hard or something.
Vancouver's tough. Vancouver's
Really?
tough. Yeah.
Go to LA. I hear they're all
you get
easy.
the hand lock. Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
No way.
Well, not the actual hand.
I came
but
out to Vancouver and I went out and I got a lot of girls.
Right. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
got a lot of girls. I set them up for you,
made
and
it?
you did not take the bait. I was like,
the
they
love.
added me on Instagram. I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
but I don't know, cause like clubs are tricky. Like you just got to see a girl who you can like
I feel like eye contact's a big one in the club.
eye contact and a girl who's having fun. Fun girls, they're easy to
fun
approach.
Fun guy.
And then I don't know what to say because I don't like getting hit on at the club.
Okay.
But I know what not to do.
Okay.
Don't go behind her and start freaking putting your dick up on her butt. Seriously, I don't get why guys think that's
But,
okay. Like,
hey.
bro, don't grab her waist. Don't like,
Oh,
nah.
shit.
That's
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
know.
yeah, I
I don't
think,
know what
yeah.
to say, but just don't do that.
Okay,
Nah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Be
Guys
respectful.
do that.
Be
Or
respectful.
like they grab their hand, like they're girls
Too
walking and
aggressive.
they grab. I'm
Too
like,
aggressive.
don't grab my hand. I don't know.
Hey,
you.
and ladies, don't be grabbing up on our ass as well. Like, you know, that's a bit of a violation
both
too.
ways.
It goes
Grab
both,
yours?
it goes both ways, man.
All
You know,
right.
2020.
All right.
2020.
squatting for looks. only.
2020.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool, right,
how about like if you're on a date, what would you, or if you're like just starting to talk to a girl, what are like questions to avoid or things to avoid, like saying?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't call her moody.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
You know from experience, do ya?
Nah.
Called out.
Under the bus.
Yeah.
Move that bus.
He's his friend as well, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
what else? I
No.
don't know. What was the question? I honestly don't remember what you asked.
It's like what topic should you stay away from? What should you not ask the girl?
How many like sexual partners they've had?
Oh right.
Like,
That's-
why would you ask that right away? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like girls.
I
Don't
feel like
want
insecure guys might ask that one or whatever, but
to- but
don't
for
know.
what reason?
I
Like
don't know.
what?
I don't know. But yeah.
Hey,
definitely wouldn't do it. Yeah.
you're insecure.
Don't do it because
Yeah.
like, ooh, that's their own history and it just gets messy, right?
Yeah, like pass is pass, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Good.
Yeah.
2020.
Let me pivot here.
All right.
Pivot.
Pivot. Oh, I love the Friends references. and stuff.
What would you say your like top 1 or 2 like first date options or second date options would be?
Devin, what would they be for you? You've been dating.
Like first, second date, you know?
First, second date. Well, you know what? You want to go somewhere where you can talk to them.
Yeah.
You want to
True.
go somewhere we can talk to them. So movies, like, you know what? People say
You could
movies.
talk to the in
No,
movies.
people say movies is a good first date option. It's not for me.
Second
no,
date.
100%
Second
It's
date.
not for me.
no.
It's not
Second
for-
date. Second
Not
date.
even
Maybe
second
I
date.
think even second date.
I don't
hell
think
outta
so.
here.
Hell
I don't think so.
no. It's
I-
like,
And I honestly, I feel like if you're starting to get to know someone for the very first time and you're scheduled to meet up with them, it's like you need something to loosen you up. So I think going for a happy hour drinks,
Right.
sitting
True.
down, getting to know them over a couple of drinks, you know.
True.
It doesn't even have to be dinner because you know how dinner dates are like a big thing.
yeah.
I don't like
it's
that.
I would
like,
even-
oh my
I don't
like
God.
that.
Because you've got to like try and work out how to still look nice when you're eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you're drinking, you're feeling the buzz. You're just drinking, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I like
and,
that.
And I also like mini golf. I like mini
I was
golf.
Yeah,
just
for a
about
date.
to say
I like
some
mini
type
golf
of
for a date.
activity or
You
something.
know what I mean?
activities.
It's all
Like,
in the
you know
hips.
on Fresh Prince?
It's all in the hips.
This is what happens when you're on a podcast with guys. But you know that Fresh Prince episode
Yes.
when he's like, that's all I think
Yep.
about, and I was like,
When
yeah,
the
that was smooth.
the sister.
Yeah, and
the cousin,
Ashley was like, yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully,
I
y'all know
think
because I ain't.
Anything like that, like ice skating, arcade.
Any activity.
I can't go ice
Activity.
skating. I
Yeah.
You ice skate?
I can't ice skate.
You can't?
Yeah,
No
I
way.
can't,
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah, we
good
know.
at ice skating.
We know a couple
I'm
of
not-
people that like pussy out
Should we
on the ice skating.
Astrid,
I mean, I tried it at least. I tried
You
it.
tried it
I
at
cut my
least.
leg doing it as
at
well.
least you tried, and you cut your leg. This guy, we went ice skating with him. He's in America for the first time. This is a big shout out. And like, he went on the ice. He stayed on the wall, and then like everybody else tried. They tried. They're like, let's get off the wall, and they ended up succeeding. They knew how to ice skate. And the end of the day, this guy after
he
like
doing?
3 minutes went back and put on his shoes and refused to go back. I went.
I'm like, are you mud? Like,
Like,
what are you
literally.
doing?
Straight off?
He just
Yeah.
stopped. He
Mud
paid for
money.
it.
Look,
Everything. 3
I
minutes
actually-
later,
nah.
I hated that. I was so mad because I hate like just not even trying or to quit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
yeah,
No.
yeah. That's okay. That's all good. That's all good. Yeah.
But I think activities, bro.
activities. You get to
Activities.
know
No,
someone.
y'all
Yeah.
just let that go. Devin's all nice. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah. Hey. Well, I appreciate all that feedback.
Yes.
And actually, like, hope it helps people back home as well.
For the boys.
Yeah. For the lads, you know what? For the single lads out there. But hey, I'm gonna kick it forward here, guys.
What do we
Just
got?
don't be
I'm
weird.
gonna kick
Yeah.
it forward, and I want to give us a little coronavirus update.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this a
update. We
couple
touched on it
episodes
a couple
ago.
weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna give
yeah.
you guys some stats, okay? There's 79,000 cases now.
God,
79,
damn.
80,000 cases, right?
It was like 5,000
Right?
last time.
And that's how much it's increased. 3,500 deaths.
Oh my
Are you kidding me? Like,
Shit.
and then also about 11,500 serious or critical conditions.
God,
Guys, this is bigger than we're like thinking, man. Shit.
that zombie
Zombie
story
accomplice.
might actually happen.
Accomplice.
I mean, I think
Like,
Apocalypse
rest in
might
peace,
happen.
everyone that's passed.
Yeah.
God, that's
I think
crazy.
I saw something from Bill Gates, and he said like, I predict that the next major disease will come out of China, just like the Black Plague did
He
in
said that?
Europe. Because the Black Plague got infected into rats, and rats took it into Europe. He suspected that because of the overpopulation in China, the next big disease would come out of China,
Yeah.
and it would be a epidemic.
Wow, that's happening.
And money on the money, it's happening.
Man,
And I-
Nostradamus, man.
Wait,
Has it, like,
Nostradamus.
Have you read that there's any inkling that it's gonna stop? Like anything?
Well, it's only on the up, so I would assume it's just
Really?
going to keep going. Because the stats from 2 weeks ago has increased tenfold, and I've got a little story on this one as well.
Okay.
So I work in sales, guys. I work in sales,
True.
and one of my clients lives over in Singapore, right?
Okay.
Lives over in Singapore. He's like he's a prospective client, but we're trying to get him on board.
Yep.
Right.
We're trying to get him on board, and he was traveling for about a couple of weeks, and then so we said we'd quit communication for 2 weeks. When he gets back, we'll be good.
Okay.
He was going to go through Hong Kong to India and come back to Singapore where we'll pick
Okay.
things up. Guess what? He got quarantined for a week in Hong Kong.
Oh.
We had to move our conversations back a week because
Is he okay?
himself got quarantined. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay.
Thank
But he
God.
was, and I asked him at the top of our next conversation. I said, "Look, man, I don't want to touch on this for too long, but like, how was that experience?" And he said, "I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy,
the quarantine.
the quarantine."
Why? What happened? Like,
Well,
what
and
was-
I didn't want to ask him
Oh,
anymore,
okay.
right? Because he was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
true,
shook
true.
by it.
yeah.
He was stuck in a little room.
No.
Prison
Little room.
solitary
Pretty
confinement,
much a
essentially.
prison for a week, and this is just a guy
Yeah.
traveling, right, in Hong Kong.
Damn.
That's crazy,
Oh
man. Like, so I
my.
had to deal, like, you know what I mean? So
Put your whole life on freaking.
yeah,
Yeah.
God damn. I mean, didn't you? I think you told me something last week about how like they accidentally let the wrong people off of a
I haven't.
ship or off of a plane,
Yeah. You know
and
that
then so those people have now gone and traveled overseas.
Yeah, it was the cruise ship. Remember that cruise ship that was like a bunch of Americans
Yes.
were on there?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess I haven't followed up on the story, but when I read it, it was basically that they accidentally said that they were free to go back to America or whatever, and they weren't.
Oh,
They
shit.
actually were
Wow.
infected with the coronavirus. I don't know if they infected others, but like,
That's how that shit happens,
woo,
man.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't
I'm
it such, like,
legend.
such a crucial
I'm legend.
mistake?
This thing just keeps getting bigger, though. I
But
think
now
it's
I'm
got to
like,
get attention. Like, fucking hell. There was a case in like here in BC. Fucking hell, man.
I
Thing
heard
is-
from Montreal today.
But
Yeah.
I heard that like it's if you have a strong immune system, it's just like you can fight it off. It's for situations
Like the
where you
elderly
can't
and the
get
children?
elderly children and where you can't have access to medical care and like
Oh.
you miss out on some treatment for a week or two.
Yeah.
It's those people. It's the bottom that's getting.
Right. Well, I'm
Man.
happy about
But
that.
like, still, I'm just saying, like, it's scary. You should. My point was, like, you have to be safe. Like, if you have any of those symptoms, go to the doctor.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
be cautious, right?
Because like we
Yeah.
are in a place where you can take care of that.
I'm just remembering, I'm the worst at this, man. Like I remember one time I had I won't say what I had, but I had something really bad,
What?
and
Mono?
it was nah,
I'm just kidding.
it was real bad,
Damn,
and like
dude.
I
just imagining right
I had
now.
I know. I'm
severe-
like, what was it?
I had severe fever and
Chickenpox? Okay, sorry. You don't have to say that.
yeah
You can
and
bleep it.
yeah, I'll bleep that
Okay.
shit. Yeah, and then I had a massive fever. I had to get up in the morning like 4 o'clock for work,
Mm-hmm.
as well as in uni. And then I got up and I had a shower, and I guess the shower overheated me, and I passed out in the shower. Boom, 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 boom,
No,
boom.
that
boom.
is just serious.
That's
too.
bad. And then like,
Yeah.
so then I couldn't like catch my breath. I was overheating. I just sat in the shower, like cold shower for like 5-10 minutes. Went and sat on my bed for like half an hour, and then like I was good. And so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, fuck, I'll hop in the car and go to work.
And you didn't know you had whatever you had.
No. And then I got to work,
Fuck,
and
man,
then
that's crazy.
then it all started to set in, like the photosensitivity. So like I couldn't move my eyes left to right. Like I could only look straight. It was like I had severe strain. And then anytime I like saw light, it was like blinding like a flashlight, any little speck of light. And I was like, fuck this. Went home, checked it out, went to the doctor, and she's like, why the fuck are you not at home? Like,
Damn,
you
bro.
idiot.
Yeah.
I
That-
was quarantined once too.
That actually,
Oh, shit.
well, let's jump into that. But that actually reminds me of a scenario where you
You're
ended
in
up-
Vegas.
you ended up in the same hospital as Deontay Wilder.
Look, guys, it's called the Sunrise
What?
Hospital in Vegas. I've been in that one.
What
But,
happened
yeah,
in Vegas?
man.
Doesn't say
I mean, I'll just
Vegas.
touch on it. Like I got super sick. I picked up this like virus in LA.
You got hit by
How
Tyson
did you
Fury.
fix?
in
Oh,
LA.
okay, pick it up.
But
I thought
then-
you were saying Vegas. I was like, how'd you pick that up?
It was in LA. Then we went to Vegas.
Hey,
It was good boy.
Party,
You went
party,
Cameron
party.
And but look, no, honestly, I was out for like 3 to 4, like
Yeah.
5 nights even.
No.
I was throwing up. I was
He was
throwing up, and then actually, while Prashit was in the shower,
Yeah.
I fainted.
No.
And then our other mate, Michael and Nigel, like,
Shout
were,
out.
like you guys were panicking, man. They were panicking. Like,
They
What do we
would.
do? What do we do?
They
What do we
would.
do?
they were panicking, and then like Prashit came to help me out. Called the
Well,
ambulance. Ambulance took me to Sunrise, man.
They were
Oh my
banging
gosh!
on
How
my
much did that cost?
Damn, oh, look, man, those bills.
It was
were
like
That is
expensive.
insane.
10 plus KA.
Oh, it was a lot.
Get travel insurance all the time.
That was
I had
Lucky
a friend.
so
I had to-
lucky.
I had to. It was 4th of July, and so this friend, whenever she gets drunk, she just falls asleep, right? And
Blackout.
yeah, but it was 4th of July, but she's fine, and like she's in med school and all this shit, and so it's 4th of July, and I had to go it was in LA, and I was putting money in my parking meter, so I was like, hey, sit in your car while I go do that, and she fell asleep in the car, and like people kept passing by, they saw that she was sleeping, and they were like, oh no, this girl's not okay, so they called the ambulance, and oh my lord,
And with that comes the cost.
that much.
The
She was
cost.
paying for that for so
Look, yeah.
long.
No, you
and
need
all
insurance.
and there was nothing wrong with her. She just needed like
IV.
an IV, and that was it. Yeah.
Mm.
And the cost was insane.
Oh, look, I can tell you that from experience as well.
Yeah.
They just put you in a cab, eh? Like,
No way.
Go back
After,
home, yeah.
After, I mean, it's okay.
After,
But they were
yeah.
injecting me with all the shit, like, I was lying there, like, and then they're like, yeah, you're all good, bro. Go for a cab ride
No
home.
way.
Yeah. I was cooked after. I was so cooked.
God,
Like,
damn,
I felt
yeah,
better because
yeah.
they injected me, but like, honestly, on my way there, I can't remember shit. And I wasn't even drunk either. It was just a sickness. Passed
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
They were like, not vividly, I like vaguely remember like being put onto the ambulance and like taken away.
Man, that's an
I was actually
experience.
like out of it. It was
No
crazy.
way.
It was crazy.
Is this the trip where I met you guys? Should we go into that real quick? It was kind of weird. No?
Yeah.
Nah, let's not.
Let's save it.
Yeah, let's save that for
But
another
yeah,
day.
Yeah.
we did meet each other in Vegas.
Yeah, that
20
was 3 or 4 days.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, like pretty much 5 years ago.
Almost on the money. Yeah, man.
Crazy, yeah.
And that was by playing up your accent. So if my advice to guys, if you got an accent in a country where you
Play that
are
card.
not from,
Play that
play that up. You don't gotta do shit. You just gotta be like, oh, we going over there. And then girls will come after.
Are we
Trust
English?
me,
Are
daddy.
we English? Are we?
I've been watching a lot of Love Island. I got mugged off.
Fuck me off, it's slow.
Should we kick it forward, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Good? Okay. I want to go delve into a bit of sport here again.
Okay.
So the NFL.
Right.
The NFL's got a new proposed CBA agreement here. So like, you know what they want to do? Have you guys caught a glimpse of this one yet? Or
No.
Okay, so what the NFL wants to do is they want to put one more regular season game on the season and also put 2 more teams into the playoffs.
So
Okay.
it's like asking a regular employee, I'm going to take 1 week of your leave and make you work another week.
Yeah, you can put it that way. And because, you know, with all the CTE stuff going around, like, I guess they want to play as least as possible. They don't want to add more.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're okay
Wait,
with adding
what?
a team
Oh,
in.
yeah,
But, you know,
yeah.
they don't want to play one more game. It's just another
Yeah.
chance to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
With the way the league
Yeah.
And they've only got a 1% increase of
In
the
pay.
share in revenue. So the total share of revenue
shit.
into the players and to everyone else, right? They're only
Okay.
getting 1% bump in that. It's going from 47 to 48%. That's all they're getting for an extra game, a whole extra 60 minutes of football. You know what I mean? Which I don't know if it's too like. I'm excited to see more football and more
Yeah.
teams in the playoffs, but like, is it fair for them? I don't know, man. Like, what do you guys think?
I just have a question. How many like teams are in the playoffs finals right now?
So it's 6-6, so 12, and now they
Wow.
want to go 14. They want to go 7-7.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. There's football games on all the time, so I do not need to see more football. But
I mean, I thought there was talks before of like removing a game and adding another bye week or something like that so that they had more rest and more recovery.
I think they want to take
And-
off like a preseason game and make it a regular season game.
I don't know about this,
And
bro.
they're gonna, so I don't know.
I mean, that
it's,
makes
it's interesting
sense.
to think
If it's
about.
preseason, they're gonna play it anyway,
Yeah,
right?
But like
And
the
now
big
they're
guys don't
getting
really
paid
play
for
in the preseason. They don't play that, but the regular season, that's when they play their big minutes, right? But yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting topic to bring up because like you say, if you put it in regular settings, it's
Regular
like
life,
asking
yeah.
us to like work another couple weekends. I'd be like, fuck right off.
Yeah, hard.
Hell no, I'd say no.
Yeah.
Wait, we work all year though.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, like if you put another
That
little,
actually brings me to another topic. Like
Okay.
we can come back to that,
Yeah,
but just
sure.
like real quick. So I was with my friend and she was saying like, you know what? I was telling her, I was like, oh my gosh, look at these athletes, these NBA players. It was the All-Star weekend. I was like, they're always dedicating their bodies, their life, everything to be the best,
Yep.
right? And I said, that's why they're paid so much, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, she brought up a good point. She's like, you know what? Like lawyers or publicists or people who also fashion designer, like big name fashion designers, they work around the clock and they don't get nearly paid as much. Or even like I don't know,
Some CEOs,
some
yeah.
CEOs, they don't get paid nearly as much. So what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that athletes are overpaid?
This is a very good topic.
I have an opinion.
Okay, go for it.
So I like free market. So I like the fact that you get paid for what you're worth in terms of demand, right? So they generate a certain demand. Like athletes in some countries or athletes in some sports don't get paid that much. Sometimes you have to work part-time jobs and things like that. So I think you should be able to get paid for what you do work. And the other thing to realize is like, if you're an NBA athlete, you're playing for 7 to 8 months of the year, so you already have a shortened schedule, a shortened time off. The time off in the summer, maybe you're rehabbing, maybe you have surgery, maybe something like that, right?
Right.
So you're giving 10 to 15 years of your life to a sport. You're missing out on half your child's growing up because you're away for half the time as well. You're missing out on all that, putting body on the line. It's not just turning up for the day of the game. These guys...
No.
in terms of
No way.
watching film, recovery,
Right.
training, travel, it's like 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week. Like it's not
Oh yeah.
anywhere close, you know? And it's not good for your body to be playing.
And I have a take on this, and maybe this is kind of like a laddie, like a lad type take, but like I want to chuck it out there. Like this is the closest thing to like old school like gladiators.
It is,
that we
yeah.
have. You know, back in the day, people circled the bloody the stadiums back in the day,
Coliseum,
the
yeah.
Coliseum. You know what I mean? So to watch these guys fight each other. You know, watching football, rugby, you know, basketball,
Whatever,
boxing,
yeah.
whatever the sport may be. Like it's the closest thing we have to that pure entertainment at the highest level. So I mean, there's that to think about as well.
That's a good point, but like going back to like that makes sense. I think I understand that more because it's like an entertainment. Entertainment is just a whole different category
Yeah.
of like what it brings to people's lives
Yeah.
out of depression, whatever, going through a lot of stuff. But going back to your point, like I feel that there are people who are in jobs like doctors even and other people, whatever, other careers that I can't think of right now that also watch a bunch of film for their specific career,
Research and stuff.
etc., and they also dedicate a lot of hours, more than what they are paid for actually. And it's a lot of, maybe it's not physical strain, but it's a lot of mental strain. And they do
Yeah.
also travel a lot too, some of them, and they are also away from their families. So, and they don't get paid as much. I don't have it's hard for me to like just to say,
You're
it's
just
hard for
laying
me to
points
have
out.
a opinion for this.
It's tough
Like,
one.
I don't
think,
Tough
know.
one.
I think teachers, police officers, firefighters, like ambulance, they should all get paid more.
Yeah, 100%.
But I do want to say with athletes, like it's only the top. Let's say this: it's only the top 0.001% that become professional athletes. Then of that, it's only certain sports and certain teams and certain players that are actually played at a ridiculous rate. The vast majority of professional athletes have a 2 to 3 year career where they make bullshit amount of money.
That's true.
Even if you make $5 million, half of that goes to tax.
Yeah.
Then you got your lawyer fees, your agent fees, you've got your state taxes,
That
you've
makes
got
sense.
they're just
Yeah.
getting wiped
you've
off.
got every,
Yeah.
it's wiped. You make $100 million, you're left with
what
like
you're saying
40.
is there's different arguments here, both sides.
There's both
Yeah,
sides.
and what you're saying is like their career is only for a certain amount
That's
of
it.
time.
That's it.
Whereas
Shelf
everybody
life.
else can
You can work
until
for
they're
50, 60, 70
60,
years.
whatever it is.
There's some-
okay,
there's
that
some-
makes more sense.
Doctors make more than the minimum on the NBA.
Although they have
and the
endorsements
NFL.
and stuff, but that's only if you are like a superstar.
Hey, doctors can write books. They can sell books. They
Yeah.
can make shows. They can do all these
No,
things.
I'm just
as well.
saying, like,
Yeah.
you think of, I'm just trying to think of like all the arguments on both
Yeah, yeah.
sides. But yeah, that makes sense to me
Mm.
though,
It's a hot
knowing
topic.
that they have a certain shelf life basically.
yeah.
And I mean, you get like
So in that case, going back, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, just like the top percent of athletes, X% of athletes get paid a certain amount for endorsements or their salaries. The top X% of teachers or professors do speaking gigs, they do
Right.
engagements, they make a cure.
That's
They,
true.
It's up
That-
to
you
you,
know,
man.
that-
How hard do you want to work?
That's
though?
it, right?
true.
That's it.
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
I mean,
And
yeah.
I've actually got like one little more. Actually, shit, we might be short on time, but maybe next time I'll talk about Spencer Dinwiddie.
oh,
Dinwiddie.
bro,
Who's that?
he
So-
is something cool.
He's a Brooklyn Nets player, and I wanted to talk about
From today?
No, what?
He plays for Brooklyn Nets right now.
Brooklyn Nets, yeah.
No.
But in the future, I want to talk about
Never
his contract. He's done this smart thing with his
I
contract.
know what he's done.
Where I'll just do a quick version. Anyway, he is trying to get all his money up front.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, and like he's having a bit of back and forth with the league, but the reason or the way he's doing it is like outside of the NBA, he's made like a cryptocurrency coin that investors can invest in, and essentially his NBA contract's going to be worth $40 million for 3
They're
years.
investing in him,
But
right?
they're investing in
That's
him,
awesome,
and
man.
so
that's kind of cool.
he's getting them to give him $40 million right now, and the good thing is the NBA contracts are so guaranteed that they know they're going to get their money back, and so it's low risk. So he's paying them like 5% interest or 6% interest, which is more than they'd get in a savings bank account, right? Super safe level of investment. But then his idea is to use that 40 million and make more than 5% interest. So if he's able to make 7, 8, 10, 15% interest, he's making more money.
He's
And
doing it.
this is like a really good thing. You guys can look into it. But
Yeah.
everyone says
That's cool, man.
when you invest, don't use your own money.
Yeah.
Use other people's money. Use the bank's money.
Yeah.
This is what
House
they
money,
mean.
house money.
House money. But
I feel like we didn't answer your initial question.
No. That's cool. That's cool. Like that.
No, like
that
should
delved
they
off
be
into that
paid more?
topic.
I mean, should they be paid more than the 1%?
who? Athletes?
The
No,
football
no, no,
players.
in terms of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
It should the bump should be more.
Yeah, it should be a proportional bump.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Well,
proportional bump.
Nah, but like, hey, that was a really interesting chat. Yeah, no, sweet as.
Give me some of that cash.
I wanna,
Seriously.
I wanna bring it
Help
back
me,
to
I'm poor.
Vancouver for a sec, guys. Actually,
Yep.
I want to bring it. I want to bring it
Okay.
back to Vancouver.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh, most murders. Sorry, I watch a lot.
Hey,
of
that wasn't where I was
series.
going, guys. But hey, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I listen. I'm a. You
It's
know
a-
those. All the murder thing that he brought up.
Yeah,
It's from
that's
me.
from you.
I
Yeah,
love true crime. It's a girl.
You scare
thing.
yourself though, eh? Like,
Yeah, I live alone too. Like I'm so. When I go home, I'm like, hey, could you stay on the phone with me? I need to check if there's someone in my house.
yeah.
But anyway.
But hey, yeah. IHOP. You know, IHOP's doing something pretty cool this week. So what they're doing is they're giving away free pancakes. Free pancakes.
What's the catch? What's the catch?
Well, you know what I mean. I'll give you the little details first. So if anyone's listening and you want to go do it, it's on the 25th. So it's going to be Tuesday this week, 25th, and they're going to be the buttermilk pancakes. So they're pretty nice. And it's on all locations, I think, in like the Vancouver area. So like Burnaby, Coquitlam, Surrey.
Yep.
You know, that sort of thing. So, but there's not actually one in downtown. So there's not. I don't think there's an IHOP in
man.
actual downtown. I don't think. Don't quite me on that. But like, if that's true, can I ask you guys?
A road
Like,
trip to go get some diabetes.
Do you like pancakes enough to get free ones from IHOP to go out of the city?
No.
But it's only, I think there's one like on the
Buy it.
outskirts. So
No.
so we'd have to like travel on the SkyTrain. It'd be like at least a half an hour trip to
Bro.
go and get free
$5.
pancakes.
Bro,
So
bro,
that's my
SkyTrain.
question to you guys.
traveling there is you can afford freaking buying IHOP.
I'll get the
Like-
hotcakes from McDee's.
Okay, there you go.
No,
that's
like
my question
the
answer right
amount
there.
that's traveling there, the time, the everything is just go buy it. What is it, like $5?
Is pancakes your favorite breakfast? Are pancakes your favorite breakfast?
No, I used
Like
to
treat
be.
breakfast.
It
Yeah.
used to be, but like
I'm a French toast
to
kind of guy.
dessert now.
I like
I
French
mean-
A bit more
toast.
hearty.
Yeah,
you know?
a bit of protein in there as well.
I'm not into the dessert
I
breakfast.
used to
Oh,
be.
okay.
I like just the nice
I got
omelette.
older.
Or
like,
maple
you know?
syrup, the Canadian maple syrup goes well in anything.
I heard that's
Yeah.
popular.
It is very popular in
Yeah.
Canada.
My little brother can drink sugar.
Yeah.
Oh
in the
my
morning.
gosh. I don't want to hate on him.
Bro.
Yeah.
Ha!
But I'll tell
Free
you what-
scoop of ice
wait.
cream on that French toast.
Back in the day, my brother and I, Sean, we used to like take the whole thing of sugar, take a couple of plates, run up to the bathroom, lock ourselves in the bathroom, pour it on the plates, and lick the plates and laugh with each other.
Oh my! You guys
You
are
get so
getting high on the what?
Like little kids, just like
On the
licking,
powder.
licking
Yeah.
sugar off a plate.
I used to. You guys have Minute Maid like fruit punch or
like
whatever.
lemonade. Yeah.
like
Whatever.
Raro.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Raro,
yeah.
I don't know what that is. But
You guys are full on Pablo Escobar in the bathroom. Just,
Chandler Escobar. Chandler Escobar.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting thing.
That is.
And so yeah, guys, we came with some pancakes. You know, IHOP's giving out the free ones, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the 25th.
Are you going?
I think I might have to. Yeah,
Bruh.
indulge. Yeah, I might have to indulge.
Don't be cheap.
Scoop up the free ones, eh? You know what I mean?
You don't even have a
ones.
car anymore.
I don't. There is a SkyTrain though,
hitchhike.
which I'm not a huge fan of, but
Are you going by yourself?
I don't know yet. I
You're not gonna
invite
bring a
someone.
date?
I'm gonna invite you. Maybe you want to come?
No.
Hey, yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'll take you to
Go to go ask someone at the gym if they need post-workout
That's the
meal.
opening line.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. That's what
Well, should we cap it off for the episode 3? Episode 4.
Episode 4, man.
Quattro.
Yeah, that's a month. We're a month in.
Yeah, a month in, and
Is it really?
A month in.
Yep.
Oh my
We made it 4
gosh.
episodes deep, and we've had our first guest host. Thank you for joining us.
You're
Um,
welcome.
We're gonna shoot a little separate video, bit of a clip. So if you guys wanna, check out the YouTube channel, make sure to also comment,
yo.
subscribe, like.
Yeah.
We've been
Like,
seeing,
comment, and subscribe.
yeah,
Comment
we've
in
been,
the comment section below.
we've been,
You can find me on Insta. I don't have Instagram.
but honestly, we appreciate it. We've been seeing some people sharing.
Yeah.
What's
seeing
your
you drop
Instagram?
comments.
Floor20?
Floor20
Floor
pod.
20 pod.
Pod.
Check it out.
My bad.
And when you
Floor20
guys
pod.
search on YouTube, don't put the space between
Yeah,
floor and 20.
yeah.
Just go straight floor 20 and it should pop up for you guys.
Floor-
pop
you should
up.
write it right here.
Also, we see some people have been listening on iTunes and Spotify, and
SoundCloud.
it's popping off, so it's
Yeah.
available for you guys. But
I appreciate all the
Download
downloads.
it. Download it.
Appreciate
Don't
the
just play
downloads.
it.
And you know, some of you have been sending
Are you guys
topics our
gonna
way
send
to.
me like money for?
No.
Flew you over.
Some people have been sending some topics, and we are stockpiling them. You know, and if they make the cut, we will be discussing them.
If you guys want to hear,
I
send it
wanted to
through.
talk about
Yeah.
like Jake Paul. And
Your
Garcia
boy, yeah.
and Gigi Hadid.
Oh,
But
Gigi.
next time.
next
But
time.
yeah. If you guys want to hear anything, you know, let us know, and we'll cover it off for you.
And that's a wrap.
What up?
Shit. On the shit. I'ma go Super Saiyan. On the shit. On the shit. On the shit. I'ma go Super Saiyan.